True story, and Ferdy and the gang and there's many people in the room that have lost everything, right? That's always the story. I don't know of one person that hasn't lost everything. 2008, 2009, 2010, the whole world went under problems, right? Just so you know, I'm going to tell my story. That never happened. Sorry, it just never happened to me. I woke up this morning, and I looked at my beautiful wife, and I said, Susan, I feel lacquer today. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just so you know, 3 of the speakers, I didn't understand a damn word you said. Here's what we're going to do. I've been teaching now for literally almost 30 years in real estate. This is my gig. I've been a real estate agent since 1984. Just so you know, this is all I know, but I know you guys. And I've trained you. My specialty is lead generation. Okay, I wrote a book on it. You can go get it on Amazon. It'll help the grandkids. 101 ways to lead generate in real estate. I didn't write it for anything else, but what? Real estate. Here's what I want to do today. I promised myself 25 years ago I would never be on stage again without teaching you something. You have to learn something today. You saw some good stories, right? Now it's time to work. Sorry, you got to work. If you don't have a piece of paper, take out your cell phone. John, take out your Jonah. I call him Brother John, but it's Jonah. Okay, take out something. Come on, Patty. Here's what's going to happen today. I just really, guys, great speakers today, great stories. I mean, Brent and I can tell you the first one we did like this had 88 people in it. Stephen, congratulations. Let's give him a round of applause. I mean, this is stupendous, right? I hope you've learned a lot today. I'm going to try to teach you something right now. I want you to write down, and by the way, I'm not going to make you share this with anybody, but this has to be personal. You have to think about it. How much money per month, not per year, per month, how much money per month would set your life free? Write it down. I mean, I'm talking per month you go, I no longer look at the right side of menus. I never look at the price of gas. I don't give a crap about the load shedding or the shedding load. What do you guys call it? Load shedding? Shedding load? Just so you know, that doesn't sound good to an American. That load shedding. Sorry about that. So write the number down. Guys, be free for a change. Pretend you're 3 years old again. Nobody's telling you what to do. Mom's not talking to you. Dad's not talking to you. What number is it per month would set your life free? Take some time. Okay? Got it? Anybody want to share with me? You want to have guts enough to share? How much per month? I see 150,000. Is that a good number? Per month. Would that be enough for a lot of people? Okay. Anybody want more? I hear 200,000. What do you got? 250. I hear 250. It's like Price is Right. 400. I hear 400. Who else? 400,000 rand a month. Give it to me, Mama. 1 million. We're talking 1 million rand. Can you imagine that? A month. A month. A month. Let me tell you my story. 8 years ago, I was set. 8 years ago, I had worked 21 years at a company to build up 6,000 agents in a region. I was one of the 32 regional owners, my wife and I together. There were only 32 regional owners in Keller Williams in the world. We're one of them. Okay? We had 6 offices that we built from scratch. All you guys that started offices, I heard your pain. James, I heard your pain. It's hard. Playing broker is hard. Okay? Built them from scratch, made it through 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011. bad years in America. I don't know what it was like here, but it sucked in America. Can you say suckage? In other words, people failed. People went bankrupt. That's what we got lucky. Seriously, we got lucky. And we made it through. Didn't have to go through what everybody else did. So we were set. How much is a million rand in U.S.? What is it? How much per month? Say, so 50,000 U.S. a month. That was the highest I heard. Just so you know, in 2014, when I met a guy named Glenn Sanford, I was making that. Susan and I had built up our businesses that we were literally making 50,000 U.S. dollars a month, a million, I'll use your guys' numbers, a million a month. Man, that was more than I ever thought I would have to retire on. Then I meet Glenn Sanford. And the sucker invented the model I've always wanted. Really, I'm an agent guy. I owned offices. But I'm not an owner guy. Most of the guys that are even owners, we're agent people. We want the agents to succeed, but we've always been involved in franchise models. So I met him. 2 days later, I came back and I said, Susan, this model, it interests me. Now I'm going to give you some hints on recruiting agents as I go. You got to remember these stories have hints. We were set. I wasn't looking. You guys get that? I wasn't looking at all. 21 years at the same company. Our best friends were at that company. You couldn't believe me. We have people at Keller Williams to this day say you were in the top 5 people we thought would never, ever leave. Write that down. You're going to call all those people tomorrow. Don't assume they're going to stay at those companies. I'm an analytical guy. I saw 2 of my accountant buddies up. I was an ex-accountant too, so I'm analytical, just like most of you guys. And I researched the company for 5 months. I came back to Susan, and guess what I said? I said, Susan, guess what? I said, if you knew Netflix existed, would you own a Blockbuster? She goes, of course not. I said, we own 6 of them. I just found Netflix. She goes, what do you mean? I said, and we own a big Blockbuster called a Region with 6,000 people. She goes, what do you mean? I said, I found the company that agents are going to love. And that's who I'm after, is agents, not owners of companies. That's the biggest difference. Okay. Now, for all you women, I got the look. For all you men, you know what the look looks like. For all you women that have their husband here, give them the look right now. Just give them the look. Give them the look like, what in the heck are you thinking of doing, dude? Are you kidding me? We've spent 21 years of our life busting our butt, building up a million rand a month coming in without us working. And I said, honey, we got to sell it all. We got to sell it all. Now I'm going to tell you the whole story, because most people don't hear this. I went back to Glenn and Jason Gessing and Glenn Sanford. I only met 2 people when I joined EXP. 2. You're meeting a lot today. I met 2. And I love those guys because guess what? When I met them, they're still the same people. 8 years have gone by. Glenn Sanford and Jason Gessing. And I looked at them and said, you better be telling me the truth, dude, because I'm buying into what? I'm buying into them. I'm not buying into the model. Do you guys write that one down? People buy into people. People follow people. They don't follow models. Now you're thinking, wait, don't we have the best model? They buy into you first. Right? So I looked at them and I said, I hope this works because, man, I am jumping ship. And in 5 weeks, I sold all 6 offices, the region, and literally 8 years ago, this week, we moved to EXP. Now, I only tell you that story. You got to get nuggets out of that story, right? Is the fact we weren't looking, right? What kind of picture do we have up there? Oh, God, that's an ugly picture. Okay. But you got to understand, this is a better picture. Ooh, could you put it in the middle? Put it in the middle too, if you can. If you guys don't know who those two on the right are, since we're in South Africa, that's Donnie and Marie Osmond. They're very, very famous in the United States. Well, that's when Susan and I looked like 30 years ago when we sold real estate, just like you guys. Right? Love that hair. But I can't believe it's been 8 years since I said that to Susan, that I think I found Netflix. Guys, I know where I am. I'm not confused. I know where I am. I am not confused. You don't, dudes, I mean, I can't believe I'm in South Africa. Laka. I'm feeling laka today. Whoa. I mean, this is so good. Because here's the thing. But I did know someday I would be. I wrote them down. Okay? So you got the number in mind that would set you free. Now here's the key to success. You guys know, guys, I read a lot. If you aren't waking up every day putting motivational YouTubes in your mind, I do YouTube. I just pull up motivational stuff every single day. During my shower, push it on. Okay? Brian Tracy, you ever heard of Brian Tracy? He's a famous trainer. Famous trainer. Passed away a few years ago. He said the 2 keys to success are this. Write them down. Number 1, you have to have vision. Write it down. That's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. You have to have a vision. That number you wrote down, that's your vision for the future. Okay, how am I going to get there? And the second thing you have to have is, guess what? This is going to be strange to you guys. Optimism. Optimism. What does optimism mean? It doesn't mean I look at the good in everything. What it means is I'm looking towards the future. I'm not looking towards the past. I'm looking toward the future. I love when Andrew put the goals up there. Do you guys know what it was for South Africa? How many agents? 4,000. Dude, make it 10. Just so you know, scratch out 4 and make it 10. You know why? You'll hit 4 when you make a goal of 10. Just so you know. Now, for all you people that made goals of 1 million, I love the 1 million over here. Whatever you wrote down, take it times 3 and put that number in. Let me tell you why. You think way too low. I'm just serious with you guys. Your goals are too low. When your goals are low, I'm going to sell 2 homes a month. You'll sell 2 homes a month. Right? I'm going to sell 10 homes a month. Do you act different if you're going to sell 10 homes a month? A little more obsessed? Okay. Okay. All righty. So I come home to Susan, and what'd you say, honey? You said, what'd you say? Now, she said, what'd you say? I love having you in the office. I never hear. What'd you say when I said I found it?
What did I say?
Well, here's what happened. I called Glenn and Jason, and I said, I'm in. I'm in. A week later, what did Gene have? Buyer's remorse. Serious, true story. I said, holy moly, I'm joining a company with 400 agents. The stock was 18 cents a share. 18 cents a share. Stock was not on NASDAQ. And there were 400 agents. And I come to Susan. I said, Susan, am I doing the right thing? We have an office with 642 agents. I own 6 other offices. I own a region with 6,000. What am I thinking? And she says, well, it's the same size Keller Williams was when we joined 21 years ago. Boom, shakalaka. I married the right woman. Give it up for Susan! Because let me tell you, guys, she knows she's got me wrapped around her little finger, because quite honestly, if she would have said, no, let's don't sell, I wouldn't have. True story. But since she was in, right? Oh, baby, I've been in. I'm more excited now than I was 8 years ago. I started with EXP Who in Texas, and got news for you guys. It's not EXP Who anymore, is it? Right? People know who we are, right? So you got a big advantage that we had. All righty. Here's our 5 kiddos. If you want to, if you come up to us afterwards, try to pick out the twins. Okay, look at them now. Try to pick out the twins. I used to keep this on my desk, so when I'd interview people, I'd say, here's the twins. Okay? You got that one. Here's 5 of our grandkids. We have 9 grandkids. Here's 5 of them. They live in Denver, Colorado. They're 20 years old, 18 years old, 16 years old, 14 years old, 12 years old. I like these because they're all 2 years apart. I can tell them. And here's our family in Puerto Rico, right? Now, when I say this is on our back patio in Puerto Rico. These are other grandkids. I didn't have a picture with all the grandkids. We have 9 grandkids. There's the other 4. Here's what I want to tell to you guys. In your vision, the reason I tell you to make it big, it has to, put this underlined, it has to have a purpose. It has to have a purpose. See, when I say vision and goals, everybody, oh, Gene, I've read those books. I know. No. Do you guys know why I exist? This is the question I get every single day I'm on a Zoom with some of you guys. Guess what the question I get? Why are you still doing this? I get it every time. When they find out how much money I'm making, by the way, you can look it up, pull up Gene Frederick, net worth. You will wonder why I'm here. My granddaughter says, Grandpa, why is it when I put in Gene Frederick, the first thing that comes up is Gene Frederick, net worth? I said, it's because I'm on a board of directors, and the board of directors is public knowledge. So everybody knows how much shares we own. It's kind of weird. I don't like it. But quite honestly, people look me up before they talk to me, and they go, oh my gosh, why are we talking today? You're worth blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, you don't know the reason I exist, do you? There it is. 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 Got news for you. I ain't done. I ain't done. I am just starting. I am just starting. Do you guys know the difference between success and great? What is it? The people you saw up today that were selling homes were successful, aren't they? Don't you? How many people here feel successful? Say yes. How many feel like duds? No, I'm just kidding. I just thought it's kind of a weird thing to say, but okay, here's the thing. When you graduated from university, or like some of the speakers, never graduated from university, or whatever you guys call it, to be successful sounds like a great thing to strive for. There's 2 things I'm going to relate to you guys today. To be great, I only want 5 of you to be great. Well, maybe 10, 20. I'm hoping. Because you know what great means? Your great-great-grandkids know your name. Write it down. You can be successful. You'll have a good life. You'll pay your bills. You won't go bankrupt. But when you're great, your great-great-grandkids go, that's who set up the family forever. That's who changed the mindset of everybody in our family. Because I don't know about you guys, I was raised by a banker and a teacher. They never talked rev share with me. They never talked cash flow with me, right? Who here did their parents go, make sure you have the number you put down coming in every month, no matter you wake up or not? Anybody? No. We weren't taught that, right? Robert Kiyosaki wasn't our dad. So here's my thing. We all grew up in the same situation. We need to change it. We need to change it. You can talk to your kids now about planning for them to have money coming in every single month, whether they sell a home or not. It will change their lives. It'll change your lives forever. You'll become great, okay? I noticed they've changed the guy because he can't follow me around. I love it. Okay. Anything you get out of the story that I just told, I want to share. You got to share with me. What'd you get out of it?
To leave a legacy.
Perfect. What else? Anything from the story I told about moving? Man, I like involvement because you guys have been stagnant today. Yes.
We just got to think great and build on that for the family.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Your vision has to have a purpose.
There you go. When you strap it with a purpose, see, my purpose, you guys don't know it, but the Lord put me on. I only have a couple skills. just so you know. There ain't a lot. Seriously, I think I have 2 skills that set me apart. By the way, there's 7 types of geniuses. Once I read this about 25 years ago, I said, I got a shot. I got a shot. There's 7 types of geniuses. It's just not mental. That's what we all think, IQ, right? There's musical. How'd we see with Brad today? Was that not genius? I mean, that was beautiful. Thank you, Brad, for putting it. It's musical. It's singing. It's right. There's so many geniuses. And I read it and went, communication. Jesus, Socrates, Aristotle. During their times, guess who the geniuses were? The ones that could get up on stage and communicate. Wow, I got a shot. I got a shot at this. This is like 25 years ago. I go, if I could learn how to communicate as well as Brent Gove, I got a shot. Does that make sense? You guys all have a shot to become geniuses. Get over it. Let's become geniuses together, right? So I have a skill to communicate. I also have a skill, and this is the one most of you do. You need to really train yourself, and I want you to write this down. This is my best skill. I listen extremely well. I just do. I take notes on everybody I talk to. Right? 4 kids. Saw their pictures, right? 4 kids. Luke, Aiden. These are all people you saw up on stage today, but quite honestly, these are their kids' names. I know their kids' names. I wrote them down. Because the next time I meet them, I'm going to ask them about their kids. Because quite honestly, most people just care about their kids. If they have animals, I know the animals' names. I'm a really good listener. You only need 2 skills to become a great recruiter. I have no problem saying the word recruit. It's not a bad word. It's a skill set. I listen, I ask questions, and I listen. I ask questions, and I listen. I ask questions, and I listen. And then when it's my turn, I think I communicate okay. All right? You only need 2 skill sets. Do you guys got them? Do you think you all have them? Say yes. You got them, right? You got those skill sets. The problem is with Google and all the internet stuff with you millennials, you're afraid to ask for help. Write that one down for everybody under 40 years old. For some reason, ever since we've had cell phones, by the way, Kathy went berserk today because we got in the car and she thought she left her cell phone. Have you guys ever done that? I'm sure some of you guys did that today. You got in the car, well, where's my cell phone? She's digging around. She goes, oh my gosh, for 20 seconds, it was Panicville, right? It was bizarre. And then she says, oops, I'm sitting on it. True story, right? She goes, man, that just freaked me out. Well, now that we have something that we can put in and say, give me the answer to this, we don't ask. We've forgotten how to ask. Why am I here today? You guys know why? Stephen asked. Stephen asked. Every place I've been in the last 8 years, somebody asked. Thank you, man. Thank you, brother, for asking. Thank you. That little boy in the front, of course, Lincoln Apollo's the smallest one. He's our cutest little 5-year-old. But the one in the middle is named Asher. Asher just turned 9 years old. I got a cute story. His dad is the coach of the soccer team. You guys call it soccer down here, don't you, right? So he coaches him in soccer, and my son Kyle on the far left goes, Asher, we need a goalie. Could you go to school tomorrow and ask Alex? Alex is a big kid. He plays hockey, not field hockey, but ice hockey. And he's a big kid for 3rd grade. He goes, he's your tallest kid in your class. Ask him if he wants to be our goalie. And Asher goes, what do you mean, Dad? He goes, no, go there and ask him. You know, like your grandpa. He goes, what do you mean? Well, your grandpa recruits for a living. You know what Asher said? You mean he begs? I got to go beg Asher to be the goalie. I thought that was so cute. Out of the house of begs. I'm a beggar. I've been a beggar for 30 years. I love it. Here's what I want to tell you guys. Get out of your own head. Set huge visions. You've heard it about 3 times today, but it's very, very important for you to do this. Because we're adults, we will say, oh yeah, Jean said to triple that million to 3 million. She's going to write down 3 million now, right? Well, that's not realistic. Stop it. Stop being realistic. Just stop it. It does you no good. Being average means you no good. Hey, how many people have kids in here? Raise your hand. Okay, everybody. How many people woke up today and told your kid, make sure you be average? I want you to go to school and be average, and I don't want you to think big. I want you to think small, because you know it's never going to happen to you. Come on. It's a problem with our society. It doesn't matter if it's South Africa or the United States or anywhere. We put that in their heads. Bull duty. Stop it. Stop it. You tell them they can grow and they can have everything they've ever wanted. Okay? There we are now in Puerto Rico. We've lived there 4 years. The only reason I say that, I never imagined living in Puerto Rico, but they have wonderful tax laws. We had breakfast there on top of the hill, and I got news for you. It's heaven on earth. I apologized to my son the other day for raising him in Dallas, Texas, because I said, it's cold here. I said, if I would have known the Caribbean was this nice, I would have moved you to the Caribbean a lot sooner. Okay. Let's talk vision. When I started 8 years ago, this was my vision board. How many people have a vision board? Raise your hand. Okay, we need everybody to raise their hand next time I'm here. What's a vision board? This is when you take that vision that you just wrote down and put it on a board. Okay, what's on the right side and the left side of my vision board? Yachts. I grew up in the desert. I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona. I've never lived near water until I moved to Puerto Rico 4 years ago. But 8 years ago, when I told Susan, I said, Susan, I'm going to put this vision board because I'm going to go recruit people, and someday we're going to own a yacht. You have got to be crazy. I started looking at yacht magazines. I went to the yacht show in 2016, a year after we joined. We did not have that many people. And I went and pretended that I was worth millions of dollars, and I got a showing of a 165-foot yacht. It was awesome. It was cool. 2 hour showing. You guys think you show houses for a while. Try a boat. They had the captain, they had everybody, they showed us where they were, and I'm pretending like I have the money, right? But I went, man, if I could make as much money as I just wrote down, wow, I'm gonna own a yacht. Okay, Susan has to deal with me all the time. Do you guys feel sorry for her now? Right? I put that vision board, and these are different numbers, but I redid it all the time. I put it in my garage, because in Dallas, Austin, Texas, we drive into a garage. And so I had it right there, so every day when I drove in, I saw it, okay? And I redid it all the time. Have you guys heard my nickel story? You're gonna hear it right now. Okay. 2011, now you guys understand Susan and I joined 2015. 2011, I was a team leader for Keller Williams in a market center in Austin, Texas. Okay? And we went to a happy hour. I know you guys, you like to drink. Yeah. I know you, dude. I know James. So anyway, we were having a happy hour, and it was an outside restaurant. What I mean by that, it's really cool. Beautiful day in Austin, Texas, kind of like we were experiencing right now. Beautiful weather, sunshine. And next to us was a happy hour by Dell Technologies. Dell Technologies is one of the largest companies in America, and the founder is who? Michael Dell. Michael Dell's the 25th richest person in the world. Last time I checked Forbes, he's worth like $35 billion. Okay. Well, Michael Dell's at the happy hour. Now in Austin, Texas, just so you guys, Michael Dell is like Bill Gates. Michael Dell is like Elon Musk. Michael Dell is the top entrepreneur of that city at that time in 2011 was Michael Dell. He tries to make it through us to his car. And I know you guys, I know you, Mary, don't tell me about that. Everybody was grabbing at him. I'm serious. He was like Muhammad Ali in his prime. And they're going, oh, Michael, you don't understand. My son works for you. I worked for you 15 years ago. You're my hero, blah, blah, blah. And he walks through us. It took him a while. Grabby, 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 grabby. And he goes out, and guess what's waiting for him? A limousine, a Mercedes, Maybach, however I say that, for you car enthusiasts. It's about $1 million limousine. And his driver opens up the back seat, and what's he do? He gets in. And what do you realtors say? I kid you not, to a T. Really? He can't even drive himself. Oh my God, he has a driver? And what was that all about? I said, I don't know. I've only seen them because I've literally only seen that Mercedes limousine in a car magazine. That's the reason I knew it. I went, that's a Maybach. I've never seen them in person because they're $1 million. I mean, when do you see $1 million car floating around in Austin, Texas? And they said, really? Does he really need that? Now, guys, I crowded you all together. Even you guys that don't stand up when I clap. All you guys. I got you all together. There's about 50 of you. This is 2011. I want you to feel this. It was like yesterday to me. And I said, let me ask you all a question. If that whole setup, the $1 million car and the driver, cost you a nickel a day, would you have it? And to a person, they said, of course. I said, that costs him a nickel a day. A nickel US. And they went, what do you mean? I said, he's worth $35 billion. That's a nickel to him. And I crowded them all together, and this is real to me. It's 2011. I said, someday I'm going to have my nickel. And I got news for you. Don't you ever begrudge somebody their nickel. If it's only a nickel to their family, let them have it. It's a bunch of bunk that we think the rich. By the way, Michael Dell and his wife is Susan, just like my wife is Susan, gave like $30 million to build a cancer hospital in Austin, Texas. They give away so much money, it's unbelievable. I watch how much money they give away, because you know what? They're givers, right? But yet, we're going to begrudge them their nickel? That was 2011. 2 years and 4 months ago, I looked at Susan. I said, it's time for our nickel. She goes, what do you mean? I said, it's time to get our nickel. So, we have the naughty nickel. Susan thought of the name. We didn't know what to name it, but I've been telling the nickel story for 8 years at EXP. So all you guys now know, you tell your friends, it should be our little kind of thing that we all go, what's your nickel? And we need to celebrate when someone gets their nickel, right? We need to tell them, congratulations when you get your, whatever your nickel is. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be an item. It could be given to your church. It could be building this. It could be do anything you want, but man, that's my nickel. When it's only a nickel to me and my family doesn't hurt, and I can afford it, I'm getting it. So I got news for you. A month ago, we built our nickel from scratch. We have the largest power catamaran in the Caribbean. It's called the Naughty Nickel. Wait, where is it? Chotomate. That's not it. There it is. That's the first docking of the Naughty Nickel. We even bought a red carpet. Susan bought a red carpet. We have about 75 of our friends in Puerto Rico. And our captain is Susie. She's a female. I love it. Captain Susie docked it. Look how big it is, my friend. 80 feet long, 40 feet wide. The largest power cat in the Caribbean. There you go, my friends. Go get yourself your nickel. Woo! You guys have no idea. You have no idea. We built that from scratch. And when you saw it, I mean, I had tears. I had women crying. Friends of ours were crying. Because you know why? We achieved our dream. I had friends come on that day that go, Gene, you've inspired me. I'm going to think bigger. I'm not especially the young people, especially the people in their 30s and 20s came up to me and go, God, okay, I never thought, but man, wow. That's why we did the naughty nickel. We did it for you guys. I want to inspire you guys. Go get your nickel, okay? Woo! All righty. Here we go. 2006, and I promise this won't be a weird story or anything, but in 2006, my wife got diagnosed with breast cancer. And I know that most all of you have been through cancer or heart disease with your parents or your uncles. I mean, everybody's been through cancer, right? We get the phone call that she calls me. I was at a golf deal. She goes, oh, man, my heart just sunk. It's 2006. By the way, it's been 17 years, Susan. So she's free of cancer. That way you don't go, woo. You're cancer-free after 10 years. So that's the good part. But 2006 comes along, and we're the type, we were running a Keller Williams office, and the first person she went to said, I would recommend going to Dr. Hampy for the surgery. It's called Campy with an H, Dr. Hampy, okay? And he just wrote it down on the thing. You can go to any surgeon you want, but I recommend going to Dr. Hampy. So you got to understand, when we first got this news, we had about 2 weeks of tests. 2 weeks of going to this hospital and that hospital and this nurse and that nurse. And every time we handed the paperwork to the front desk goes, Dr. Hampy. Oh, you guys are going to love it. I said, have you ever met him? No. How do you know he's so good? Oh my God, I've just heard he's awesome. Went to the next person, the next nurse. What do you think? And they go, oh, you're going to use Dr. Hampy. You'll be happy. Do you know him? No. Have you ever met him? No. Wow. By the time the 2 weeks went around, I'm not kidding you, I thought this guy was 6'8". I thought he was like, I had no idea what I was going to envision, but I want you to think of this story and think of it as a realtor. Think of people that refer people to you. So we're going to go meet Dr. Hampy for the first time. Now I want you to write this down. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Late, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. His last appointment of the day. Write that down. We meet him. He takes out one piece of paper. He does not take out slides and put them up like in the doctor's stupid movies. He doesn't put up pictures of her breast. He takes out a piece of paper and he just draws a breast. And he goes, this is what I think the problem is. But I'm going to help you decide what you want to do today. One piece of paper, a pencil. 3 hours later, Susan says, this was on a Monday night. She goes, how about Tuesday? He goes, my surgeries are on Thursday. I can book you for Thursday. Susan goes, I'm in. She's met Dr. Hampy one time. But we had so many referrals. By the way, he was 5'6". But everybody said he's going to be the best cancer surgeon you've ever had. Breast cancer specifically. Breast cancer. Now let me tell you the story. We go on Thursday, right? We go on Thursday. We go in. We hand the stuff to the hospital. And what does the person at the front desk say? Oh, Dr. Hampy. You'll be fine today. We go back to where they're going to prep her, and I walk back with her, and here comes a nurse. This is a true story. Here comes a nurse, and she goes, oh, don't worry, it's Dr. Hampy. The anesthesiologist comes in. He says, this is what we're going to do today, blah, blah, blah. I'm the anesthesiologist. I'll be there the whole time. What was the question I asked, Stephen? Guess what the one question Gino asked as the dad, or not dad, but husband? Are we going to pray? He goes, oh, no problem. Dr. Hampy prays over all of his. The Lanville was off my shoulder. Okay, I know he's going to pray. Now he walks in, and they're putting stuff into Susan's arm, and a piece of paper falls on the floor. True story. Dr. Hampy reaches down, picks up the piece of paper, walks over and throws it in the trash. Walks out of the room, and guess what the nurse says? Dr. Hampy. Wow, all he did was pick up a piece of paper. Do you understand? Most doctors won't do that. Do you understand? That nurse said, don't worry, it's Dr. Hampy. 5 hours after surgery, who came out twice to see me? Dr. Hampy. Comes out the last time, Jean, everything went great. She's going to be in room whatever, come back in a half an hour. I walk back to the room. Now, this is a true story, guys. I want you to visit this. I want you to understand this. I walk back there, and to this day, I'll never forget the 2006 view in my life. Have you guys seen a lot of medical stupid stuff? Too much stuff and too much medical crap. So I'm envisioning, the mask over the face. I'm imagining just literally tubes coming out, her not being able to talk, right? Aren't you imagining this after 5 hours of surgery? I walk around the door and I look, Brad, just like you're her. I look at her and she's sitting up in bed. She has no mask on. She's sitting there on her phone because she's a team leader for Keller Williams, and she's calling the office to tell him everything was okay. And I look, and I'm literally this far from her because it was a big room, and I look at her, and the nurse next to me goes, Dr. Hampy. All of his patients are like this. She had no drugs. She had never taken a drug after the surgery. And the nurse looks at me and goes, if I break my toe, Dr. Hampy's going to do the surgery. True story. Now let's think about that for real estate. I've been telling the Dr. Hampy store for 17 years. How many people are telling stories about you and your service? Become Dr. Hampy. Write it down. You become Dr. Hampy in real estate, everybody will refer to you. People that don't know you know you. Good stuff? Later on, I asked Dr. Hampy, I said, Dr. Hampy, I'm just confused. Why did you meet us on Monday night at 5 o'clock? And you know what he said? Take this down, realtors. He says, the first time I meet someone, I always make it my last appointment of the day because I don't know how long it's going to last. Oh. How many times do you go, nope, gotta go, I got another appointment. Nope, I'm going to give you a half an hour. That first appointment with all your clients should be the last appointment of the day with no end. Got it? Did you get some nuggets out of that story? It's not a cancer story. It's a service story. Dr. Hampy retired last year. By the way, for 10 years after, Susan went back to, we lived in a different state. She went to Dallas to see Dr. Hampy. Why? Dr. Hampy, right? You're never going to leave that service if you guys deliver that good a service. Liz, now right? It's just not going to happen. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. This is my last one. I think, because we have guards outside, nobody will take your stuff. They won't, will they? Okay. I want you guys to all get up, because half the room left, and they're really going to be disappointed because they didn't get to hear this last thing. Come on up here. Stand around me here. Come on, everybody. Just stand around me. It won't take long. You can come back and get your stuff. You don't need to take notes. But I want everybody to sit around here with me. Thank you. Thank you. You're beautiful. Thank you very much. I love your beard. I love your beard. I love beards because I can't grow one. Thank you, guys. Come on in. This will be a good way to end, right? I was going to bring my flute, but Brad, you overdid it. I said, I am not playing the flute after that. There's no way. I can't play the flute. Okay. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in closer. Come on. Let the people in the back come up. This is my flying Sophia story. Okay? How many here have either a 2-year-old, 2 or 3-year-old, or a grandkid? Raise your hand. 2 years old. God, we got a lot of them, right? Isn't it a great age? Okay. Sophia is our youngest. At this time, she was our only grandchild. She lived with us. But Sophia is now 20 years old. I've been telling this story for 18 years. She's now in college. She's a junior in college. But Sophia comes into our bedroom when she was 2 years old. And she says, now, Sophia, at 2 years old, you don't wear clothes. Just so you know. We're lucky we had a diaper on her, correct? Thank heaven we had a diaper on her, right? But at 2 years old, I want you to think, when you're 2, and you know 2-year-olds, what's their mindset? Fun, what?
Just fun.
Fun, what else? What?
Fearless.
Fearless. Innocent, just what else? Free. Here's the problem. We're all adults. Picasso said this. Now, Picasso was supposedly a genius in painting. Just so you know, he painted 5,500 paintings, and only 10 of them are masterpieces. Just so you know, he painted a lot to make 10 masterpieces. But Picasso said this: if we could find the child from within, we're all geniuses. We left it somewhere. Our parents told us it's not going to work. Our kids, our family, whoever told you you couldn't achieve everything, you need to get them out of your life. And also, don't look backwards, because quite honestly, I never look backwards. I'm so optimistic, I don't even care what I was 20 years ago. I'm not the same person. Sophia comes in, and there's Grandpa, and she says, Grandpa, I can fly. Now, I grew up with 4 brothers and a sister, so there were 5 boys in our room, you know, just like Lizna. And I got news for you. My daughter, we did not have a cell phone back in 2003 or 4, whenever this was. So she goes, I'm going to go run and get the camera, because I know my dad. He's going to be rough with her. So we put pillows all over the bed. You women, I don't know how many pillows you put on a bed, but stop it. So we put pillows all over the bed. We're in my master bedroom. And Sophia says, Grandpa, I can fly. I said, of course you can fly. We called her baby with hair. She's half Hispanic, and she's just got that. She had so much hair. It's awesome. I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, I just used to love it. And I remember this as if it was yesterday. This is a moment you need to feel these moments. I feel Sophia in my arms. I mean, I'm throwing her up, and my daughter's going, oh, crap. Because I said, if she says she can fly, she can fly. She hits the ground, laughing hysterically. And what does she say next, being a 2-year-old? Again. Again. Again, Grandpa. Again. 3 hours later. I kid you not. We had time to go find the phone, the camera, because guess what? I'm throwing her up for 3 hours. Just so you know, she's 20 years old now. She doesn't believe she can fly anymore. It's sad. You know why? Because I remember this day. We've got to teach all of you guys how to fly again. Okay? And then she looks at me and she says, can Grandpa fly? Guys, here's what's going to happen in your life. First of all, the people that tell you you can't do things, that you can't fly, get them out of your life. Seriously, when Susan and I got married in 1995, we both looked at each other and said, we're going to get rid of our friends. We had friends that were just toxic. The people you hang out with, I hang out with this man. Wait until you see him speak tomorrow. You'll think I'm just a pussycat. Wait until you see him speak tomorrow, because I hang out with Kathy and Brent Gove. I hang out with people that say, when you got the boat, God, I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. I've not had one person in my life since I've got that boat say, oh, really? Really? When's enough enough? If anybody says when's enough for you, get rid of them. Because when's enough enough? How much money do you want to give, Ferdy? How much money do you want to give to your church someday or to your kids? As much as you want. There's no number. As much as you can. Why aren't we glad? We're going to give money. We're going to pray for your child. We're going to pray for your child. I prayed for him this morning. I prayed for him last night. Here's what we're going to do. We're a different company. I'm sorry. I've been at the other ones. Let's go strive something different. You know, and you're not going to be able to explain it to people, but you know what? Everybody's happy here. Everybody's optimistic. By the way, the definition is not to be happy. I know I'm making real estate fun again, but I don't think you should have a goal of being happy. You know what you should have a goal of? Adventure. Write it down. Adventure. Happy is a fleeting thing. Yeah, I was happy yesterday. But when you go for adventure, you go to South Africa and you get laka. Yeah! That's what I'm telling you. You feel laka. That's what happens when you go for adventure, right? Go for adventure in your life. Take a risk. Take a risk. And here's what I want to say to you in ending. Someday I'm going to come back, bring my nickel, and I need people to sail on the nickel with me. Come on, baby. Love you guys.